I'm in Springfield. Now, who does that belong to? Oh my God, it's Neil.
Hello, everybody.
I think I'll stand in front of you. Otherwise, I'll get a stiff neck. Hopefully, I started your day off in a good spirit there.
Absolutely.
How you guys doing? How's your drive up?
The drive was great. It was obviously Thursday morning, so the ride was smooth. We were here the last couple days, and you know, we're just having fun like everybody else during the show.
Good for you. You didn't take the new ferry, did you?
No, we took the Park City actually.
Oh, how does that new ferry look?
It looks great. Looks like the other ones, but from looking from the outside, the interior looks nice.
Oh, beautiful.
Yes.
Hey, Sherry. How are you? Good to see you. Well, Neil runs the Pennsylvania Railroad Technical Historical Society of Long Island. And look at this jigsaw puzzle. Pennsylvania Railroad E8s, E7s. Man, imagine putting that together. I love that paint scheme, better than the pinstripes, actually.
Nice.
Who is that guy over there?
Oh, Timmy.
How are you, bud?
What's up, bro? Good to see you. Good
all
to
right,
see you.
all
How
right.
you doing?
How many thousands of dollars did you spend so far?
I got 6 books back here, 3 on Western roads, 3 on Eastern roads. These were $30 a piece, so I'd say I spent a good over like $200, maybe $300 already.
And you're just getting started.
Oh, I'm just getting started, bro.
Oh yeah.
I might not be spending much this year because the collection that I like to get all the DVDs from, they're not selling anything that I want this year.
Oh, I
That
have
I'm
a few.
interested in. Yeah.
I just bought a Conrail sweatshirt. I ordered an Erie
Yeah.
Lackawanna SD45 sweatshirt.
Really?
So
Oh, very nice.
that'll make the Flying Yankee happy.
Oh, heck
So,
yeah.
hey, where's your buddy's Winston Link video?
I have no idea. I don't know what he's been up to. He's I think he's just been busy with like school and whatnot, but I think he's still working on it though.
Yeah.
He's doing all right though.
Good old Rafi.
Yeah, good old Rafi. I wish he would have came. He was fortunate he couldn't make it.
Oh.
Yeah.
So I hope you guys do well this week.
I think we're doing okay. We actually made a few sales already, so I think we're just patience. Patience is going to be the key, and I think we'll be okay.
Okay. You can't play the harmonica, can you?
Unfortunately, no.
All right. I hope that. Hey, Paul. You know who this guy is, Mr. Clean Cab? How you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Good to meet you first. And Paul, this is your old buddy on Metro North. So, John, don't you miss Paul? He's not here today.
But when I worked with him, we got along very well. He's very professional at his job. And we never really had, we had some issues, but nothing terrible.
But he did litter your cab with ticket punches, right?
No, he wasn't a real offender.
Oh, good.
He always commented how well I got my cabs clean, but you have to remember that was for my benefit, not for everybody else's.
Okay. So how many years you work with Metro North?
46 years.
Wow. And you started out as what?
A coach cleaner.
Oh, and then you were...
I went to mechanical, then I became an engineer in 1989, and I did that till 2011 when I had to retire. But interspersed in those 22 years, I did a lot of projects, special duty assignments, and I generally enjoyed it.
All right, you were a New Haven guy, I can tell.
Oh, hell yeah. Born and raised in Larchmont, New York.
Larchmont, New York. Oh.
Yep.
Passed by there this morning on the way up here.
I used to be a kid, walked down, we used to live right up the hill from the station. I used to walk down on weekends, watch the trains go by, and there was a phone booth on the old low platform. I used to run and hide in there when the trains came by because they scared the hell out of me so much.
Oh, yeah.
So imagine how it feels like 30-some odd years later, I'm the guy running the trains to the station, blaring the horn, say, boy, I've come full circle.
That's high-speed track there, I think.
Well, it used to be 90, now it's 80.
Oh, yeah. They got the parking lot on the top of the station.
Yep.
Yeah,
right over I-95.
Yeah, Larchmont, Mamaroneck, those are real high-speed places.
Yeah.
So,
of the two, I prefer Mamaroneck because it's not as noisy with the thruway and whatnot.
Oh, yeah.
And you get a better angle. You're on a more straight tangent, and you can get a lot of good shots there.
All right. Well, good to finally meet you, Mr. Green.
Same to meet you. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, some neat-looking locomotives here. Yeah, especially this one. Well, the Spirit of the Union Pacific is actually numbered 1943, but this is 9026. So the paint scheme is out of this world. Well, here I am, folks, at the Big E train show in West Springfield, Massachusetts. Never miss it. This is my 28th consecutive year coming to this since they've had it. I don't count 2021 when they canceled it due to the pandemic, but I never miss this. My wife went down to Maryland to visit family and wanted to know if I was going to come, and I said, no, I'm busy this weekend. So, but I'm going to try to get around. I'm going to be here both days, today and tomorrow. First time I've ever done that. So I'm going to try to get as much as I can and see a lot of interesting people too. Well, I gotta get this. This is the Mohegan Peak Flat, not Railroad Flat. It's Union Pacific. I think it's MP15. I have to look at the roster number. Here comes some CSX commemorative locomotives. I've seen 2 out of 3 of these. Well, that's almost as big as the real ones I've seen. B-32s. This is the Bristol S-Gauge Model Railroad Group. It's one of 10 CSX SD60s on the head end before the Conrail units were picked up. I can't say enough great things about these locomotives. Love them. Best locomotive ever painted up like that.
You talking about this one?
Oh yeah, this one.
This one?
F40PH3C, yeah.
I think the logo's a little too big.
Maybe a little.
Sir?
I can't complain about the paint scheme.
The battery's died. Can I replace the batteries?
This is the old paint scheme.
Can I replace the batteries when they die?
Oh, yeah.
I'll have to ask my wife for an allowance to get this. Here's a beauty. Here's a collection of derelict-looking models for authenticity. Man, look at that grubby Conrail SD40-2.
Attention, children, age 16 and younger. Don't forget to put your raffle chance in for the free T-Track.
I know they're trying to get authenticity with this grimy look, but
The Northeast region.
I don't know, it doesn't persuade me to buy a locomotive that looks like that.
Location 98 in the Young Building. The drawing is at 3 o'clock. Don't wait.
Here's Big Boy 4012. If you want to see it for real, it's in Steamtown. Man, it just fits on that turntable. Cheyenne had turntables that could hold them. North Platte, I'm told they had to jack up the wheels to get a Big Boy on the turntable. I always get a kick out of visiting this vendor. Signal log system, he comes all the way from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada.
It'll say, oh, I see.
There's a sample layout here. There's a classic, a Canadian National GP40-2LW. I think they're only running on short lines these days. I don't think CN uses them anymore.
That's why we had the
They
different
were
modes
good on
of
the
having
laser
two
train
sets,
intermodals.
and then the solid, so that, you know, if you stopped and now you back up, the pulse one won't.
Here's a schematic of his layout here. You'll note the occupancy of the track, the signals clearing. This guy's an electronic whiz kid, something I am not.
Yeah, you can use that to control it.
I mean, what the
Notice the block is occupied. Now he's clearing the block. Clear the switch.
That we have for him so he can kind of reference to help us.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, and it would be the right model because Jamurai wants to be the brand. Whereas
it takes 3 weeks to get back in the rhythm.
Okay,
Well, I worked for
what's your name?
CSIs.
Right.
So I know their signaling system like the back of my hand, and their NS is pretty close. It's almost the same thing.
Well, one of the guys here, the National Valley Club, Matt McCat, he was with Pan Am, so he's now with you guys, and so he's a signal guy as well. So you might run across him then.
That's good. I'm glad you're doing great.
I remember you from before the pandemic. You come all the way from Edmonton, Alberta.
That's me.
Great city of Edmonton, home of the Oilers.
Yes.
The Eskimos.
All of them.
Oh, you
no,
live-
they're the Elks now.
Oh, they're really?
They changed their names,
Oh boy, oh
yeah.
boy. Hang out in Viking lately?
Not for a while, but yeah.
That's where the Sutter brothers come from.
Oh yeah, that's right.
All right, I'm not an electronics expert, but maybe you could explain how this works for some of the viewers of mine who are electronic experts.
Oh boy. Well, we got a number of different things here. We kind of have 4 major areas. We do train detection, switch control, crossing systems, and then signaling. So we've got a few different things going on, and they're all integrated together. We've got the only thing my computer doing here today is just moving my train back and forth.
Yeah.
Otherwise, all of our products here are running themselves. Once you program them originally through freeware software that we provide, we're working on it, but it will be open. All of this can be done through simply drawing your layout. Yeah, you won't see those out there.
Oh, these, no. I always did like that paint scheme, so.
Yeah, the computer just slows it down, and then when the train is vacant, the track is vacant behind it, it turns it around. It just keeps going back and forth all day.
So how was your trip out here?
It was good.
Flew where?
Up. I had a flight get canceled, but I still got here in time for setting up. So.
Took Air Canada or what?
Say again?
What airline?
Oh, Porter Airlines.
Porter, I don't
Porter,
think
yeah,
I've heard of WestJet.
Yeah, Porter. They even give you free beer and wine. Who does that anymore?
The wine, I would definitely fly them up just for that alone.
Yeah, I took them for that reason, yeah.
Oh, how's the weather up there?
It's warmer than here today.
I heard that they have these Chinook winds that kind of warm things up there a little bit.
Generally, Calgary gets them. Edmonton does it. We're a little further from the Rockies, but
You are, yeah.
somehow
Yeah.
it's working out for us.
Okay. So you guys fight with Calgary a lot?
Well, it's the rivalry. We have to, yes.
What about Red Deer? What do they do? They're kind of
They're
leaning.
in the middle, piggy in the middle, that's all.
Somebody said that Red Deer has the most bar fights anywhere in Canada. Probably
I would imagine that's probably
Flames and Oilers fans, but
yeah, it's like we're the hot and the cold air mix. It's like a thunderstorm.
But I love your country. I don't want it to be a 51st state.
I don't think it will be.
No, that's asinine. Okay. Hey, have a safe trip back, buddy. I'm just moseying around, building the building, to see if I can capture anything that kind of stands out. Like this Santa Fe Alco PA, painted in the blue and yellow. They were always in the war bonnet scheme, but it gives you an idea what they would look like if they were in the blue bonnet. I actually like that version of it with the yellow face, the yellow cab windows. The F-45s had a paint scheme like that with the yellow on the cab windows, and that looked really cool. That is a great railroad. It was a great railroad. And they're restoring a 482 Mohawk steam locomotive. Man, I would love to see that and hear that run. New York Central had the prettiest steam locomotives. I'm sorry, Pennsylvania Railroad, but New York Central was hands down the beauty queen when it came to steam engines. The Hudsons, the Mohawks, and the Niagaras, A-OK top-notch Greyhounds with deep-throated whistles. Leave it to Alco. Well, they're not so late anymore. They're restoring one. The one that was out at Elkhart at the New York Central Transportation Museum. I wonder if the Ham and Eggs engineer has these models. Bachman puts out this Northeast Regional set with the ACS 64. Fleet cars. And they have the Acela Express. I wonder if they're coming out with the Acela 2s that I hope will be debuting this spring. Well, here are some 129 locomotive that I don't think I'd be able to put in my pocket very easily. Norfolk Southern GP40-2, a CSX GP40-2.
Oh, maybe mine came.
And look at this gorgeous Union Pacific G40-2 or G40, I'm not sure.
I don't know. Me, I might be able to fabricate them out of brass. Like you say, the channel.
C44-9W looks beautiful on that war bonnet.
Anyway.
A vast New England themed locomotive yard if there ever was one. Boston and Maine, NW, Springfield Terminal, Maine Central, Milford, Pittsburgh and Lake Erie. Some classic Norfolk and Western high-hooded EMDs. Conrail U25B Aristocraft. Taken home for $360. Well, here we have Scale Trains display of CSX Heritage units. Heritage 3/4. Let's take a look at some of these. There's the Monon, Atlantic Coastline, the L&N, Louisville and Nashville, Chesapeake and Ohio, Seaboard System, Conrail, Chassis System,
Here are the Appensi Heritage units.
Baltimore and Ohio,
These are model trains, Tabitha. They're not toys.
Norfolk and Western.
Yeah, I can tell them. Great.
Yep. Then there's the Norfolk
That's
Southern,
Norfolk Southern, Lehigh Valley,
and Conrail.
Conrail. Here's CPKC. Looks, I would actually refer to it as CPKC. The emphasis on the CP. Looks more like a CP unit than a KCS. This is the New Haven Society of Model Engineers here. UP SD70 Ace. What if it has a K5 LLA one? Here comes the great Union Pacific 844. Well, here is a B&O F3 ABA set in this beautiful B&O patented paint scheme. that CSX uses on their executive trains. All for a steal of 950 bucks. Hey Nigel, can you afford this? It's only $900. There he is. He's not weird, but he's gifted. Joe, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty well.
All right, so Black River and Reston, I got to talk to them about 60, but you say it's on its way back?
Well, it's in the works.
Oh.
It's still in the works, but, it's just, steam locomotives take time to, get back together and stuff like that.
Yeah, right. But you have a couple of diesel switchers running around.
Yeah, our main one is 438. That's what we mainly use with the Trust. 9206, the 400. That's privately owned, but from time to time, it's often used on our trains. Depends. So
it has a nice horn on it. It sounded like a Canadian horn. I don't know if they keep changing it like I change my socks,
Well, it changes every now and then, I guess.
Yeah. So what do you got in your hand there? Let's see.
It's Bobo by Harmonica.
Oh. Can you play a railroad tune for us?
Oh, sure, why not?
What is it?
I'll have to let your audience decide.
Oh, okay.
I could do more, but it'll cost you extra.
Uh-oh.
You're going to have to like and subscribe to this guy.
I thought I did already. Let's see. Who is it? Well, whatever. I don't know the name of that song. It sounds vaguely familiar, though.
I've been working on the railroad.
That is... why didn't I recognize that? I thought it was the wreck of the old 97 or the Wabash Cannonball or something. Oh, well.
I'm still working on that.
Oh, it sounds good, though, Joe. Sounds good. Oh, here's the Amherst Belt Lines locomotive facility. Look at all this stuff here. Well, we had to visit this desk, CT Rail. All the CT Rail employees here. And there's the mastermind, transportation supervisor, Greg. I'm not gonna... There's some of their trains. Greg is actually going up to Montreal to take a look at some Alstom test bed for their new passenger equipment. All right. Yeah. I don't know him.
He used to be in customer service, and he became a conductor.
Eric? Sullivan? Eric Sullivan.
Yeah. In that picture?
Yeah, he was in the group picture. That was the safety drill we did there.
Never met him, just I'm in customer service with CT Rail.
Yeah.
We used to talk on the phone a lot, and then they said he was
he's doing good though. He works in the morning.
I have no concept of who he is or
All right, Greg, I'm not going to interrogate you today. Oh, here there's a desk for the Tunnel Inn in Gallitzin, Pennsylvania. Here's some of the views you can get. Right alongside tracks 2 and 3 on the west portal of the tunnel. I've heard about your place out there in Gallitzin. Tell me a little bit about it.
Well, we're about 20 miles from Horseshoe Curve.
Yeah.
And we've got 4 rooms, 2 twin beds, 2 rooms with queen beds, 3 out of 4 rooms are trackside. We're near Altoona.
You can hear them coming out of the tunnel. I see that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you can watch it from the deck.
Looks like a nice place. I've gotten lots of rave and incredible reviews from other fans about that place. So they told me it's an unforgettable experience.
Oh, well, then
so
you need to come out.
I stayed at the Station Inn already, but
you're that close. You could at least come by and we can walk you around.
Oh yeah, I'll have to do that.
Yeah.
Well, It's in a nice area. I love trains, so thank you very much. Massachusetts is loaded with those type of locomotives, CSX GP40-2s. They handle locals all over the state pretty much. Well, if you like the Santa Fe, these are DCC equipped, no sound, $50 each. This guy must really love the Santa Fe, but not a war bonnet to be seen. Well, from the Mohican Pequot Model Railroad, had to capture this train, which I think left the rear of his train behind. I love these boxcars. Well, it's a GE ET44AC. I think UP calls them something different. It's a GE, but it's the Union Pacific, so. All right, ready for day 2. Springfield train show. What's today, the 26th?
Today is the 26th.
Oh, okay. So how was your hotel and your dinner last night?
Very restful. We went to the Nippon Grill over in West Springfield, right up Riverside, Route 5. So well rested. Had a nice breakfast this morning, and we're ready to go today.
Sounds like you had Japanese food.
No, it was more of a buffet, Japanese, Chinese buffet, or whatever it was. It was still good.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I stayed down in Enfield at the Red Roof Inn, then I went to the Country Diner. Excellent breakfast. Went to Figaro's in Enfield for dinner last night. Excellent Italian restaurant.
Yeah, I saw your post. Nice.
Really? It was very, well, hope to see some interesting people today. Speaking of interesting people, is Mr. Costa. And what's your name?
Rachel.
Rachel. Okay. Like Ralph Cramden said, Rachel, right? If you watch The Honeymooners, I don't know. Hey, why don't you give me a little toot on your harmonica again?
Oh, man.
You know any other tunes besides I've been working on the railroad?
Well, if any of your fans watching ever watched Hee Haw, you probably know this tune.
Oh. I think I vaguely remember that. I remember I used to watch George Lindsay on that show, Goober.
Yeah, you had Buck Owens and Roy Clark. And
Yeah. That was kind of like a sort of a country version of Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In.
Yeah,
That's
it's
what
like
that
a
was.
whole heap of dad jokes right there.
Oh man.
A lot of fun.
We've aged quite a bit from those days.
Yeah.
Especially me. So, not so much you guys. All right. Well, I'll see you guys throughout the day. Have a good day here.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Well, it's Sunday, January 26th. Go Birds. NFC Championship game. Beat Washington. Go to the Super Bowl. I hope they play Buffalo because that's my dream Super Bowl. I would be happy either way. Whoever wins that, I'd be deliriously happy. Of course, I love the Eagles, but I would love to see Buffalo get that 4 straight Super Bowl loss monkey off their backs. That was awful. But I'm going to check out the day 2 of the Springfield show here and get some people, places, and things today. All right, enjoy. Well, here's the Kids Creek Railroad with a nicely decorated Nickel plate Berkshire, look at this. Pulling Amfleet cars. Authentic whistle, it sounds like the 765. Ever ride an Amtrak train like this? It's weird. Amfleet cars with a steam engine. Interesting. You need a head-end power source there, though. Here's what counts. The Union Pacific. Big boy. Yeah. This is really pretty. I love the Union Pacific. Listen. I was lucky enough to see an officer car special in Oakland over the summer with some of these cars. Pulled by a GE without wings on the front and an SD70M trailing with wings. Should have been the other way around. Well, we'll watch big boy 4023 go around the curve here. Notice how the articulation cants the curve. Looks weird like that. Yeah, this is a really nice looking paint scheme, the spirit of the Union Pacific. But the number on that, 9026, should be 1943. Well, here's a locomotive type that's very common in this state, or this Commonwealth. The CSX GP40-2, which operates on numerous locals in the Commonwealth. All right, these guys are White River Productions. Sell a lot of neat magazines and stuff, and they're from Kansas City, and I can't stand the Chiefs. Oh, God almighty. Every year it's that damn tomahawk. No, that's Atlanta Braves. They do that.
We do that too.
Oh, really? I guess, well, the Washington Redskins?
The Seminoles do that too.
Well,
Florida.
what do we do? What do we do? Caw, caw, caw. You know, I don't know what an eagle sounds like, but well, again, good luck against Buffalo, and I hope Buffalo.
It's in Kansas City, home game.
Oh man! Oh,
Loudest stadium, world record.
the pain is excruciating. Cut that out. Cut that out. Go Bills! Go Bills! Go Bills! Hey Nigel, if you're watching this video, you're gonna love this engine. New York Central Hudson 5405. Look at that. I'm sorry, Pennsylvania Railroad, but your steam engines didn't look nearly as good looking as those. Well, we moved over to the Stroh building. Haven't been there yet all yesterday. They sell all kinds of clothing, hats, jackets, whatnot. I think that belongs in my living room closet, I would say. Well, I like these two hats. The old R&P logo. A later lettering style. That was a great railroad, one of my favorites. actually have an RF&P hat home already. Yeah, they're bringing that engine back. Yeah, that t-shirt looks good, but honestly, if I wore that shirt, I'd never get lost in a million years. These are pretty much hoodies. B&O is a great railroad. I love that scheme. NS has a heritage unit painted like that. Sort of resembles an older B&O scheme. Love that. It looks like a windbreaker. Florida East Coast GP 40-2. Hey, always proud to wear something with EMD locomotives on it. That looks good. I bought a sweatshirt of an Erie Lackawanna friendly service route slogan with an Erie Lackawanna SD45 on it. You know, I talk about the Gladstone branch in New Jersey Transit being an interurban-like line. Well, this was a pure interurban line at one time, and it's still running. I'd love to ride on that again. That looks good. Windbreaker. A Katy Heritage unit on the Union Pacific. That's the only Union Pacific Heritage locomotive I ever saw. I saw that out in Wheaton, Illinois, on the old Chicago Northwestern in the summer of 22. Hey, Flying Yankee, an Erie Lackawanna GP7. Maybe not the gauge that you usually have, but can you cough up 500 and a quarter? A New York Central Lightning Stripe DD35? Who are you kidding? That's Union Pacific. Well, in the Stroh building, here's Central New York Modelers. With a Union Pacific C44-9W. Still Central New York modelers. This really looks cool. Oh, here's a neat windbreaker. $199.95. I know somebody who wouldn't spend 9 cents on that. Well, there's a Trix Union Pacific ES44 AC Givo. That's painted up in the new current UP scheme, minus the wings, unfortunately. Yeah, I remember the Aero train ran from LA to Las Vegas.
That's right.
Yeah. I'm a sucker for anything armor yellow, or hinting of armor yellow. All right. Well, now I'm in the Mallory building. This is the biggest of the other buildings that I didn't go to yesterday. There's 4 in all, but there's some interesting vendors in this building. Some more interesting clothing, hats, t-shirts. Well, here's an interesting sweatshirt. New Haven EP5 Jet. Remember those things? Those were awesome. But they were mechanically challenged. Well, this is the Dry Hills Model Railroad here. Local. Look at this train. Yeah, I'll capture this train even though it's all General Electric locomotives. AC 6000 CW numbers. 600s and the low 5000s had them. So what you see on CSX most of the time these days, GE, 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 GE. There's a John Henry steam turbine. They were not very efficient locomotives.
Hey, what's going on?
He's got a gigantic train behind him of coal.
Yeah, I'm gonna get out of here because all right, I got your switches on for 2.
Those engines had air horns on them, believe it or not. Well, there's former CSX intermodal power there. B36-7 and a GP40-2. The latter is plentiful in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. I believe that B36-7 is former Seaboard system.
His trade has been interesting.
Here comes Via Rail F40. What is that, the Atlantic Limited? Here comes the CSX Conrail Heritage Unit. Here comes an Amtrak Talgo train. There's a New Hampshire North Coast GP38-2. They haul dirt out of Boston. They handle trains out of Dover to Boston. They handled gravel for the Big Dig project. The DOBO and the BODO. They were night trains. Well, here comes the Rio Grande Zephyr. Those are Hawker Siddeley built cars. They were built for tempo trains on Canadian National from Toronto to London and Windsor and Sarnia. State of Maine. Oh, that's cute. Well, here's the Adirondack. Well, this is a layout from Atlas. Could have fooled me. An Atlas model. Where have I seen that locomotive before? Some EMD and Alco stuff here.
Yeah. And then there's another train in North Conway. That one.
That's a SD70 ACE on Norfolk Southern. Most of those SD70 ACEs have K5 LLA horns. I don't know. I'm not biased and I'm not opinionated. And I don't drink wine either. Well, probably one of the most popular vendors in this building is Rapido Trains out of Canada. They have a lot of new equipment coming out. Long Island Railroad and Metro North M3s.
We picked very
Yeah, look at these
unusual
BART cars.
specific ones that
I think they're the first
were
generation cars.
these strange plows and the smaller select.
There's a different type, later version. They've all been retired, all these cars. These I've ridden on. These are Toronto Transit Commission subway cars built in Gloucester, England.
Yeah. Yep. And I mean, photos for these. When I'm going back to the,
They built a lot of railroad equipment there. They were in Canada,
a lot of those photos
Australia, Great Britain. Here are the M3 and the M3As.
When I was down in Washington on the Columbia Gorge,
There's a poster on them. They're very popular in the New York metro area. Well, they got these. Note the price. Here are the M3s. Yeah, look at these varieties of cab cars. Mark, MBTA, SEPTA, EXO, Metro North.
In theory.
Yeah, those Gloucester-built cars, part of the Toronto subway, Toronto Transit Commission.
Do you have any idea
As the sign says, Canada's first
I would
subway. Yeah, get your Northeast Regional HO set. $375. It's a four-county model railroad based out of Lancaster, PA.
Okay, you set me up in there to come into a track on your side there. Yeah.
Western Maryland SD40-2s. Look who showed up. Subway Guru Ian over here. And you're not Nick the Quick, but you're, what are you?
Nick the train guy.
Yeah, I saw both Nicks yesterday. You and Nick the Quick engineer. So
Yeah.
I don't know if they're going to be here today, but
I'm only here for a couple of hours.
Yeah,
I mean,
so-
I wasn't intending to come up this year, but I had events in my family, so.
yeah, I heard. I'm sorry
Be me
about what
for that
happened.
weekend, you know. So.
Yeah, it's a good way to unwind and release the
Yes, exactly.
tension. You know.
Exactly.
No, yesterday was an engineer convention. We had Ham and Eggs. Brandon was there.
I heard.
We had Greg was there. Joe Tishner was there.
Wow. Well,
Mark.
was there. That's cool.
You don't know Mark, but he's a yard engineer with Keolis.
Okay.
And
Name rings a bell.
yeah, and then Nick the Quick, Nick Agliotti from New Jersey Transit. So
Oh,
I
cool
felt
stuff.
terribly out of place standing there. You know,
I bet you got everybody on camera.
well,
Mostly.
I got them running trains at some point in their lives.
Exactly.
So, you know, and hopefully I can get together with you and do more subway stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I want to do the M line. That looks like an interesting line.
Sure.
Queens to Queens via Manhattan and Brooklyn.
There's definitely spots I will recommend for you to check out.
Yeah, on the elevated east of.
Myrtle Avenue, yeah.
Yeah, well,
Myrtle
that
Avenue.
too. So
Definitely
and-
check out Myrtle Avenue Broadway.
Yeah.
Because that's where the M line switches.
Curves off, yeah.
It goes over the middle track, Manhattan-bound track. You'll get some J, M, and Z trains.
Yeah, that's a mandatory stop for me on
I mean,
that.
there's no more SME equipment on the J, M, and the Z. It's just R160s, R143s, R179s.
Ah.
You know, so.
I can handle that. The R160s I like. They're musical. The 179s are screamers.
143s or
143s?
The oldest new technology trains out in the system.
What line? I know.
You'll see the R143s on the J, L, and the Z. There was one occasion where I caught one running on the M line on Queens Boulevard. That was the only time I caught it. Extremely rare.
How do they look compared to the 160?
They look similar. at least on the exterior. But the car numbers range from like the 8100 series to 8200 series. I can't remember off the top of my head. When you go in between the cars, the R143s has a singular door. The R160s is a double door.
Oh, okay. Well, the numbers are dead giveaway.
And the digital signs are a little bit different.
Yeah, I mean, the R160, they have so many different number series. It's hard to tell the 160 from the 168.
Yeah.
But I can tell the difference in the sound.
Exactly.
So,
yeah.
And the 179s, they just like, when they start up.
Yeah.
So,
exactly.
It's not like M9s, but they're not Kawasaki.
No.
So, all right, good to see you, buddy. Hey, Penn Central Railroad Historical Society. Hey, conduct a poll. You love this place. I know how much you love the Penn Central peel and stick engine. Well, here's a very large layout here. What's the name of your model railroad?
Northeast Fremo.
Where are you based out of?
Well, it's a consortium of different groups, like the Capital Fremo and the Northeast Fremo, but a bunch of different Fremo groups, they all use the same standard. They can join their layouts together to make a massive layout, basically. So members coming from all over the eastern seaboard, and everyone brings their modules, and you get a layout even bigger than a normal meet in just one club.
Wow. I would say it's more of a Pennsylvania Commonwealth theme here, from what I see.
Seems to be the case, yeah. Most people are from Pennsylvania or around the area, like Maryland, New Jersey.
I'm not from Pennsylvania, but you know who I'm rooting for today.
Well, I can tell. Quite obvious.
Well, here's the East Penn Railroad. Looks like a B23-7.
Yeah, B30-7.
Oh, B30. Okay.
It looks basically identical, though. I'm going to pull out of here. I need to be the only way to work this industry.
The old CP scheme. Well, this is a New York Central Niagara 484. They were mainly used on passenger trains. They were equipped with whistles and air horns. Oh, here's a railroad, a Canadian railroad, the Ontario Northland, in a more modern paint scheme. Back in '74, I rode on the Ontario Northland's Polar Bear up to Moosonee. No way to get there other than the train. Well, here comes a CSX train with a GE leading. It's actually one of my favorite GEs, a B40-8. What happened? SD40-2 trailing. These are powerful standard cab GE locomotives. Conrail had a bunch of them. CSX has them. They look like B39-8s, very similar. Seems like the GE is kind of sputtering and gasping. They even have GE junk on model railroad locomotives. So these are actually one of my favorite GEs. Congestion ahead. We've got a couple of Amtrak trains ahead of this guy. you can hear that combination GE General Motors sound there working together. Here's a GP15-1. A Long Island Railroad steam train.
Company specific.
280. I think that's an H9.
H10.
H10. I was close. They had those shrill whistles. You can hear it. The Strasburg 89 is fitted with a similar type whistle. Well, there's so many New England themed model railroad clubs here. Definitely some New England oriented power on this. Bangor and a Rostock and Housatonic. Hey, I think I've ridden on this. Ah, old reminders of SEPTA Regional Rail. Look at that. Is that what this is? Yeah. Note the catenary poles and the wires. From Lynn. That's down close to Chester, south of Ridley Park. It looks like an old sign that used to hang at 30th Street Station. Ah! Yeah, I heard about this group. I would definitely say that they're reproducing it as pretty well. You're going to see an unusual sight. A San Francisco BART rapid transit train knocking down the position light signal here. You didn't knock it down. What kind of railroading is that? Man, oh man, that's asking for trouble. Those are old Penn Central E33s. They're old Virginian locomotives. They used to call them bricks. Well, here's the Wisconsin and Michigan Model Railroad Club. North Shore Electroliners, where they used to serve electro burgers. SEPTA got them on the Norristown high-speed line. They were known as Liberty Liners. She's almost as tall as I am.
Can you do this fast last minute?
Have you thought about playing for the 76ers?
I'm ready when time he is. Come take our picture.
Here comes a BNSF job with old G's. Well, the war bonnet is acceptable. Well, here's a Milwaukee Road SD40-2 painted up in a bicentennial scheme. The paint scheme, if you'll note, resembles the scheme on the Long Island Railroad GP38s, GP38-2s. Striping is very similar, the colors are very similar. Engine 252, I remember, was painted in that paint scheme. Ah, here's an organization a certain Metro North engineer I know would get a kick out of. He loves the Reading Company. I think I might have ridden on former Reading Company track at some point in my life. Oh, look at all this stuff here. Note the Reading style searchlight signals.
first street cruise.
Almost looks like a Reading and Northern layout these days.
Well, the Reading and Northern engines that got painted are following Reading Railroad paint jobs, basically. I work for the Reading and Northern.
Oh, okay. I've chased the 2102 a few times.
Which train's gonna move?
We just got some new passenger cars, I heard.
Yes.
Beautiful. And you're running a steam trip in about a week or two, I think.
Yep. Yeah, I think it's 2 weeks.
This is outside Reading. Now it's CP Belt. This Reading layout is enormous. Man, how long did it take them to put this up? This is Bethlehem steel. Beautiful signal work on this layout. This is a reproduction of Hershey, Pennsylvania here. There's the chocolate plant, which is no longer standing, I'm told. A famous Reading T1. That engine is on display at Steamtown in Scranton. There's Harry Garforth, Reading Company Technical Historical Society. So what was it you were saying about Race Tower you're trying to fix up?
Well, one of our new exhibits is the Race Street Tower building, and we have the model board and the machine from Race Street Tower that controlled all movements into and out of Reading Terminal.
Wow.
So we're going to put a simulation program into that machine so you can see how Reading trains ran in and out of Reading Terminal. At the same time, we have 5 blue liners and another Reading MU car that we're fixing up to put on a static display outside of that Race Street Tower building.
Too bad you can't get one of those Bud Silverliners.
In fact, we are. We're getting 9001. We've acquired it from SEPTA, and we're just working on the logistics of getting one of that car moved up to Reading.
From what I've told, those Silverliners Buds are just hulks. They have a few hulks on SEPTA property. They don't have any...
No, this is a complete car that was...
Got all the motors in it?
I believe it is, yes.
Wow, I'd like to see that run.
Well, I don't know if we're going to see it run, but yeah, we're definitely going to have it in our museum collection.
Beautiful. I'd love to hear one of those AA2 horns again. I miss those. I've been to Philly a lot. I still go down to Philly. I live on Long Island. So, but Reading's a neat company, really neat.
Well, thank you.
And it's great that the Reading and Northern is reproducing it pretty much these days.
Well, with their T1, number 2102, you're correct.
Well, aren't they restoring the 2100, I think?
So another group is restoring the 2100. So we have examples of all these locomotives prototypically in our collection up at the Hamburg.
Don't you have a Jeep 30?
We do have a Jeep 30. Yeah. We had the first production Jeep 30 that was built.
Is that? Yeah, that's the one that ran on the on that Reading Blue Mountain and Northern out of Temple. I remember riding
over to them, and they ran it in freight train service for some time.
Oh yeah, and this.
We have the 5308 sister unit to the 5302 there. Which is operational. That's in our collection. And then, of course, we have 6300 opposed side by side.
U30C.
U30C.
Ah, wow. You probably know a guy named Jeff Seidel.
Well, Jeff has passed.
Yeah.
He was very notable and a great guy.
I spoke to him a few times, and he used to run those excursions out of Temple. So, you love the E8s.
Yeah.
Tenzi pinstripes. All right. Thank you very much for your insight. I appreciate it. In case many of you wondered what the Crusader steam locomotive looked like on the Reading, here it comes. Well, the station here is Wayne Junction. Trying to figure out which way is which here. Got a freight train coming with a Baldwin. Note the blue liner MU sitting there.
Pleasure. Thank you.
Well, this is the station at Phoenixville, Pennsylvania. Comes a Reading freight train with a, looks like a GP7 on the point. It's a military train. Now this replicates Prescott on the Reading's Lebanon Valley branch. That's just east of Lebanon. Notice the cornfields that they put in. Is that one of the Alpha Jets? This is Rutherford Yard, which is an NS yard east of Harrisburg. Very important intermodal terminal. Here comes a train with a veterans painted. It's an SD60E.
Okay, excellent.
I'm not sure what layout this is, but it's a much larger gauge. Note the Pan Am Railways locomotives. Now look at this. This is Union Pacific 844. Those 484s, for the most part, had those smoke deflectors with the elephant ears. But here's an example without these smoke deflectors. It looks completely different. The locomotive closely resembles the Grand Trunk Western 484s. And why not? They were both built by Alco. But the 800 class Northerns on the UP were handsome engines, with or without the elephant ears. This layout is the New Hampshire Garden Railway Society. It's huge also. Well, here comes the Union Pacific Rio Grande Heritage Unit. Listen to that horn. This has the best horn. I don't think the real Rio Grande UP 1989 has a horn like that. Probably a typical SD70 ACE K5 LLA horn. What many people consider the prettiest looking diesel locomotive ever built, the Alco PA. They look great in the daylight colors. Oh, rebelrails.com has some interesting looking t-shirts. Look at this. SD70AH T4. Look a little different with the teardrop windows. They look a hell of a lot better than the rectangular windows on the Aces. And here's, of course, the big boy t-shirt. Oh, I was hoping you were going to run that.
Oh, no, we ran it earlier. I'm sorry, putting it away from today.
Oh, man, breaking my heart. I hope he's strong. I'm sure that thing's a bit heavy. Oh, man, tears are streaming down my face watching him put that away. It was a little too late, apparently. How much does that weigh?
This?
Yeah.
About 25 pounds.
Oh, wow. Strong guy.
It's got battery in it. The
Oh.
heaviest thing is in that engine house over there.
Oh, that's an SD59MX, I think, what you got there.
That's just, yeah.
Yeah. How much does one of those run if you buy it off the street?
700.
Oh.
750.
That's not too bad. I see HO stuff for that price.
Oh, yeah.
Oh. Oh, well. A little too late to see it. Putting it to bed. You better not turn his back. I might walk off with those. This is Pioneer Valley Live Steamers. That's in the local area. Man, 484. This 6153 is a Canadian National Northern. Ran on fast passenger trains. Well, I missed out on the Union Pacific, but this comes close. Schneider! That's awesome. Is that the Capital Limited? I know a certain Long Island Railroad engineer who would love this particular train. This is the Hudson Valley Model Railroad Club. Well, parked over there are a couple of CSX C44-8s, not -9s. This train is powered by 4 SD45s, 1 Erie Lackawanna and 3 Conrails. Erie Lackawanna loved SD45s. You name it, they had some kind of SD45 model on their roster. A straight 45, a 45, an SDP 45, which really weren't passenger engines, and an SD45-2. We're now in the Better Living Center now, which is probably the biggest building of the 4-building complex of the show. And this is the Station Inn in Crescent. I stayed there on my honeymoon. How are you?
All right, how are you?
All right, you don't mind if I get you on film, do you?
Well, I own the Station Inn, so
Oh,
sure, why not?
I guess you see a lot of fans, yeah. Believe it or not, back in November of '95,
okay.
I got married. It was kind of a shotgun wedding. It happened in Sweden.
Yeah.
And my wife and I spent our honeymoon there. It was just one night. There was about a foot of snow on the ground in mid-November there. I remember that. And the, what was the guy named? Tom?
Yeah, Tom.
Yeah, I called him up and I made the reservation. And I said, we're going to stay there on a honeymoon. And he got panic-stricken. He says, oh no, we had some horrible situations occur with honeymooners there. He was really, really keyed up. I'll never forget it.
I can believe that.
But my wife is she's like a Filipino woman. She liked trains. Now they all look alike. But when I first started seeing her, she enjoyed it. And she enjoyed herself there. So I said, Tom, you got nothing to worry about. Obviously it was good. The place is still there.
Yes, yes.
Anything changed since my visit in 95?
A lot. Yes.
Actually, I was there in 2006 too, come to think of it.
Well, it's more like 2006 than it was in 95.
Yeah.
No, it's the
What are the
same
rooms?
idea.
I forget the names of the rooms.
Well, there is the Reading room, the B&O room. We changed the New York, Ontario, and Western room to CNJ, Central New Jersey, a couple years ago.
Didn't know that. Okay.
Then we got the PRR room, of course, B&O, Western Maryland, Erie. And then in 2008 or 2009, he opened at the end of the front porch where there was somebody who was living. That's now the Lehigh Valley Suite.
Oh, yeah, you've expanded quite a bit.
Yep.
Yeah, we stayed in the B&O room on a honeymoon. So that's the famous room where everybody was worried there'd be blood, you know?
That's great.
No, I got to get back there again. It's like the front porch is great.
Take one of our Christmas cards.
Oh, okay.
There's a discount code on the back.
Oh, good to know. All right. I have to see if I can talk my wife into going there again.
There you go.
I think it might take a bit of extra persuasion this time. I'll say, do you want to take another honeymoon? Because we're going to be 30 years in November.
Let me know. We'll put a bottle of bubbly in the room for you.
Oh, because I know when I tell her that, she's going to say, you go by yourself. Well, yes, 30 years. We ought to go there in November.
Exactly.
It'll be our 30th anniversary.
Yeah, you should.
It'll be great. Well, yeah. And your name is?
I'm Alex.
Alex. That's
Yes.
your last name or first name?
No.
J. Alex.
Well, it's Jerome Alexander Lang. But yeah, Alex. Call me Alex.
Oh, okay. Hey.
So, yeah. So my wife and I actually had our wedding reception at the station inn.
Oh, okay.
So we also stayed there that night. So,
So
we have that in common.
I'm gonna use that as an argument to get my wife there.
So, yeah.
All right. Good to see you, buddy.
Hey, good to meet you.
I wonder if I have enough money to buy that. I wonder if it has a K5 LLA horn built into it. Yeah, that SD78's back there, that's Athearn. This is Athearn. This is an SD60M. You see a BN version in the background there. Well, there's a CSX painted Stealth SD60M. They didn't have any SD60Ms. In fact, the number on it, 8710, that is the last of a 10-unit order of SD60 standard cans that they got before the Conrail units came onto the roster. Well, this is the H.O. Valley track layout. Spring City and Northern, that's attractive. But what's coming is even more attractive to me. ET44AC and an SD40-2. I'm over by Ron's Books in the Better Living Center, and I looked through their book collection. I don't know how in the world I neglected to get this book. Well, it's not going to survive the day laying here because I'm going to get it.
You want me to stop it for you, or?
No, that's fine.
You're going to stop at the station ahead anyway.
Oh, okay. this is I think it's the most attractive B&M paint scheme. The black, white stripe, blue livery. Brand new. 500 big ones. Oh, it is an attractive paint scheme on these, I think they're MP15s. Amherst Gold Lines. This is that Boston, Maine. It's an RS3, I believe. RS3s are one of my favorite locomotives.
Beautiful units, aren't they?
Yeah, I love the sound of them. I'm from Long Island, we had 10 of them. Yeah, I wonder if the Flying Yankee has this. I remember that. That's one of those rebuilt SD40-2s. Danbury Railroad Museum. I love that RDC with the Hancock air whistle. That's vintage New Haven.
I want to demonstrate the horn for you.
This is from locksound.com. The GP40. There's 2, I think.
You say it's going to be available. So you tell me when I have the card that has sound with it. Yeah. All you have to change the code? Yeah. There it is.
It's not just the...
Yeah, no, you're right, you're right. Can you turn the HEP on and off?
All right, I talked them into running this one. I wonder why. It's a GP40, not a Dash 2. Looks good, sounds good.
Yeah, that's nice.
Could you explain lock sound, what that is?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. I heard that's about the best sound to have on Locomotive.
It is, yep. So our decoders come out of the box blank, and then we use a low programmer to write whatever sound file you want to the decoder itself through a computer. And then you can customize all the lighting and all that kind of fun stuff based on however you want your locomotive set up. So we have several SD40-2 prime movers, 645s, goes right in there. So very simple.
easy to do.
How much is one of these off the
The
shelf?
decoders retail at 120, and you can get them for just under 100 at most retailers.
them undersold.
And you can get them at Lombard Hobbies, Yankee Dabbler, all kinds of places here. They're at the show.
Yankee Dabbler is.
They're in the other one of the other buildings. But
Lombard, I heard, is very
Lombard's
good.
here, Yankee Dabbler's here, Spring Creek is in another building. They're here, so lots of good places to buy them.
Great.
Yeah.
I like authenticity. These look and sound.
Yeah, and we have like 10 or so different sound files that you could use, so you don't have to have them all sound the same.
Oh, beautiful.
They can sound a little different.
What kind of horns you got on them? I guess you got.
There's about 16 horns built into every sound file.
Oh, what does this one have?
This one, it's a little hard to hear in here, but this one is just a 3-chime, Nathan 3-chime.
What, on the UP or the Southern? Oh, that's a.
It's a UP horn. This one here, this one will have a 5-chime.
They usually did.
It's like a Leslie S5.
S5 or an RS5T, they sound.
Might be an RS5T.
Yeah. UP generally uses 3-chimers.
Yes.
All right. Thanks a lot for the demo. Just looking at your little magnets
Oh,
here.
yeah, I know. They're
There's
great.
one here that makes me laugh hysterically.
Oh, yeah, which one?
The Back Bay inbound
I
to
know.
Boston. Where's
Everybody
Back Bay?
always says that. Everybody.
Well, when I went to Back Bay not too long ago,
Yeah.
they had inbound to South Station.
Yes.
So I was happy to see that.
That's what it should say.
I mean,
Yeah, I don't know why they made it that.
Back Bay is not in New Zealand or Zimbabwe. It's in
Not yet.
very much
As far
in
as I- as I
Boston, to
know.
my knowledge. So
It's pretty funny.
I ought to get that, but I probably get nauseous looking at
Yeah,
that
yeah,
in my
yeah.
refrigerator every morning.
I agree. It would drive me crazy to have that.
It's a pleasure. It's about 3 o'clock on Sunday. Had a great time here the last couple of days. Got to go to all 4 buildings and show you some of the highlights of what's in each of the 4 buildings with this show. And I hope you enjoy the video. Should be good. Got some interviews, got a lot of model railroad stuff, some funny stories, and it's just great. Where are those White River production people from Kansas City? I got to give them a hard time again. Hey, you guys have a safe trip back to Kansas City, and I'm still not talking to you about the Chiefs.
Well, we'll see what happens today.
Yeah, on the way home, I'll tune into the Eagles game, see what's going on. What time are they playing the Chiefs?
Eagles play early.
Oh.
We're playing later. So
Oh.
I think they play at, I think they might be playing now.
Oh, okay. Well,
So, yeah.
hopefully you lose 900 to nothing.
Get out of here.
Nah.
As long as Philadelphia loses, I don't care.
Oh, no. My God.
Go Chiefs. Go Chiefs.
I got to call the ambulance.
My team's out. I was really pulling for the Lions all the way.
Oh, yeah. That's a shame. Kansas City's got a lot of friendly... I got to say one thing. Kansas City's full of friendly folks.
I think so.
My wife and I were out Railfan in the Santa Fe. This is years ago. It was like 100 degrees out. We were younger. We could tolerate it. Now we could never do that. But Kansas City, great railroad town.
It is.
It's
And
good.
a great football team.
Well, yeah. Hey, you got the Royals. You got the... Used to have a hockey team, the Scouts. Remember them?
Yeah, and now we have, what are they called? Oh gosh, I don't know.
You don't have an NBA team.
No.
Huh.
We used to have Kansas City Kings,
Oh, you know.
but
remember-
we do have the soccer.
Yeah.
Soccer league.
Oh, yeah. Remember back in the 70s when the Royals were always playing the Yankees in the playoffs?
Yes.
Oh, those were heartbreakers.
I know it.
In 1980, though, that with George Brett.
Well, it was the I-70 World Series between St. Louis and Kansas City.
I was favoring KC in that one.
Oh,
I thought
see?
St. Louis had a bunch of arrogant players.
You're a Kansas City fan at heart.
I guess so. Well, trains are good, folks are good, you know. You just have to go there.
Barbecue's great.
Yeah. Whatever. You know, it's a great area, and I love the Union Pacific Railroad that runs out there. BNSF is big out there. And that's the Emporia subdivision.
Yeah.
Out to Emporia, Kansas.
There's 2 yards. We have 2 yards, one in Kansas, one in Missouri.
Argentine is in
the
Kansas.
Yeah, the Argentine yard is in Kansas, and then
Well, there's Armour Yard and
on Armour
There used to be Neff Yard. That's closed. And then there's Canoke Yard for the Kansas City Southern.
Kansas City Southern, yeah. It's
CPKC now.
yeah. It's on the east side of Kansas City.
Yeah. And they have that elevated Kansas City terminal line through there, which looks busy.
Yeah. So you gotta go to Kansas City now. Especially since the Chiefs are gonna win the Super Bowl.
There was one time I remember my wife and I went out to Kansas City. We went to Santa Fe Junction,
Okay.
which is a really busy spot, and a Santa Fe cop.
Oh.
No. He said, "Here, I'll take you to this place. The guy who works this shift, he's a good guy. He'll let you hang around there all day." So we were there. We saw a whole bunch of trains, and real nice guy. Real nice guy.
Trains
So
are everywhere.
yeah. No, you guys are cool out there. You know, I'm not a Yankee fan, so that's one thing you can take solace in.
There you go. Yeah.
All right. You guys beat the Yankees every time they come there, okay? Promise me that.
Every time. I'll try.
All right, okay.